Hi, I'm Mary.
Mary.
So, I've been in recovery for 35 years. I've helped many people throughout that time. And I just have to say this. We brought up the serenity prayer and that powerlessness. A lot of people walking the face of this earth, until I came to Narcotics Anonymous, I didn't realize how powerless I was. And it is a gift to know that there is a God and I'm not God. And that's the greatest gift I was given in recovery. But with that said, this disease, no matter how much I want someone to get it, the one person I would have wanted to get it the most was my daughter. And she died July 3rd last year from an overdose. And that was probably the most painful thing I ever had to go through. And when it happened, because you wake up in the morning and everything's beautiful, and within an hour, your whole world is shut down. My daughter was raised in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. She knew, she never saw me use. She never saw me do anything. So when you look at that, you're like, why? How come, God, I can help all these people, and you're this loving God? And I struggled with it for a little bit. And I gave every ounce of my energy sponsoring women, attending meetings, speaking at conferences, giving back like I was taught to, but the one person I couldn't give back to was my daughter. Why? And that was hard. That was really hard to deal with. And I got to tell you, I prayed so hard for her freedom, because I watched my daughter in the last year and a half turn from a woman who was an amazing mother, who was at every baseball, did everything possible. She was a light in my life. She gave joy to everyone she met. And I watched her deteriorate from heroin. And like it was shared, the shame and the guilt, because I'm in recovery. I'm this big NA person, and it only made it worse for her, I felt. But I prayed really, really hard that she would be freed from the disease of addiction. And you know what? My prayer was answered. Maybe not the way I wanted it, but I didn't have to watch her suffer in that, and I didn't have to watch my grandson suffer through it, because that last year and a half was horrific. I literally lived 3 houses from her, and I could look down the street and see when chaos was happening. I was on call 24/7 to run down there to rescue kids, pull her out, do this. I watched her drive her car into the sign. I had to get the kids. I watched the police take her away. I watched her go to jail. I watched my little girl that I loved with all my heart and soul get taken from the disease of addiction. But I can tell you guys, the one thing I had that maybe other people don't have is I had empathy, because I know what it's like to not be able to stop. But I also had hope for her, because I know that it's available to everybody who wants to recover. So that was it was just a hard thing. So this disease is, I'm just going to say it, I can't say it in the room. This is the devil in action. It comes to steal, destroy, lie, and tell you all kinds of things that aren't true. That go ahead. It's so cunning. It tells you, come on, you could have one, and then you pick up one, and guess what? It tells you what a piece of garbage you are for picking up the one. It's always the switch. It's the switch. And that's what I got to, I don't want to make it all bad. My daughter came out of jail, went into treatment, came out, and I got 2 months with her, completely free from the disease of addiction. I was giving back my daughter. She had to live with me. She lost everything. She lost the kids. She lost the house. She lost the dogs. But I got her back for 2 months. And what turned and why that one time, I don't know. She woke up in the morning. She was going to New York. Her son was in the baseball Cooperstown. They drove all, she hugged me. She said, I'm going to miss you so much when I'm gone. I said, honey, you're only gonna be gone 3 days. She said, I love you, I love you. And they called me the whole way out there. They were laughing and joking in the car, having a beautiful time. All she wanted was her family back. And that night in the hotel, she took something and didn't wake up. So I couldn't even see her. She was gone for, the body, it was, to this day, I sometimes go, this isn't real. This isn't fair. That's what my head keeps saying. This isn't fair. And then it's like, why me, why not me? But I'm going to tell you, in Narcotics Anonymous, I sat with a woman, how many years ago? 5, Jeff? I sat with a woman whose daughter happened the same thing, and I remember praying in my head and going, God, I never want this to be part of my story. Please, 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 please. And then it happened. But that woman is helping me now. I was there that day, but she's helping me now. And I know God has my daughter. I know she's free. I know she's dancing. I know that this disease was not her. She didn't die from a sin. We're all sinners, but she's not like, oh my God, now she's in hell. I don't feel that way. And after she passed, it was a little bit. And I had a dream, and we were sitting at a McDonald's of all things. I never go there. But we're sitting at this thing, and she's like 12, and she looks, typical 12-year-old. Like, I hate you, Mom, whatever. And then all of a sudden I looked up, and she was 3. And she had these cute little pigtails, and I'm like, oh my God, you're so adorable, honey. How old are you now? And she said, I'm free, Mom. I'm free. And I was like, thank you. She's free. Because this disease, living with it and in it, is not a life. So I believe that God answered my prayer. So I don't know. I know one thing, that when I see people on the street, or I see people suffering with this disease, I have a level of empathy that maybe is greater. I don't know if it's greater, but you know what? It's a gift. It's a gift. I don't have that arrogance. It says in the Bible, what? Haughty eyes, lying tongue, all the things God hates. I don't have to have that. I pray every day to never have that. Because God bless me if I'm ever unkind to another addict, using or clean. And that's just something that we try to say in the rooms, And I have friends that come an hour away just to hear me talk for 10 minutes, What kind of support is that? It's something that's beyond imaginable. And Pastor Kevin did the service for my daughter, and I don't know, you remember how many people were there, the community that happens. So the stigma of being an addict, I was ashamed when I first came to NA that I let myself go there. But the reality is it was the greatest gift I was ever given. I've touched more lives than probably most people can. We all have. Anyone in recovery, you should, if you can't ever get an experience, go to a world convention. You'll be blown away at the amount of people there. And hugging and laughing, and it doesn't matter what you look like, where you came from, what you have. It's a true, true gift to be a member of Narcotics Anonymous. And the saddest part is that, like we read, jails, institutions, and death. And in our meetings, there's always an empty chair in the middle for the addict that didn't make it, and all I see is my daughter. But somehow, some way, this experience will help somebody else, I guess. If anyone's here struggling with a child, just the one thing, my daughter, she had journals, and 'cause she was an IOP, and she always wrote, I always have my mom. That's a gift. She always had me. I was probably one of her greatest cheerleaders to help her, and I don't have that regret that I kicked her out, that I did all that. That's just not me. It's not my story. I don't have to feel that. I know this is a God program. I know God took her home for me because I watched her pick up again, and I couldn't live through that, neither could her children. So, I don't know. I hope that helped. You know what? I am sorry. I Sparrow just asked recently, and we're actually doing a celebration today of one of my sponsees who has 30 years, so I can't stay long. We have to go and prepare for that, but I wanted to come and at least let everybody know that, you know what, there's always hope.
Right.
Whether it's here or on the next one, because I do believe in my heart and soul that God spared my daughter the life of the horrors of the addiction of heroin. And do I miss her? Yeah. But I'll see her again. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's it.
Thank you.